All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Of course, Yahweh being the true name of the Heavenly Father, who is the God of the Hebrew Israelites. Yahweh Shai being the true name of his only begotten Son. Also, I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. Hey, back at it with a back to basics lesson, man, concerning the end of the world or the end of an age, being that when we say these things through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai, oh, the world's coming to an end. The world's coming to an end. A lot of people are unlearned. They don't have the true spirit of Yahweh Hashem Shai upon them. So when they hear that, their mind goes to and fro, considering all different manner of things concerning the world coming to an end. All right. Now we do know that this physical earth shall be here forever. The word say Yahweh Shema Shai, but this is in fact the end of it, quote unquote, the world, the end of an age, the end of an era. And we'll, get into this. This is Matthew 24 and verse 3. Well, let's start off with this question again. Yahweh Shai's disciples questioned him about the end of the world. Did they understand it meant the end of an age, not the physical earth? And again, Matthew 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So absolutely, especially walking with Yahweh Shai and being learned directly. There was often obviously questions, that would arise, but the disciples turned apostles would inquire of Malak Yahweh Shai, and of course, the Lord then in fact gave an answer about the events preceding his second coming. All right. Now they thought that this second coming would be right around the corner, if you will, but they did understand that the end of an age. And let's get that. I got it already queued up in the blue letter here.
Strong's G 165. Ion.
So
Ion.
that word world there in Matthew 24 and 3, it goes into properly an age, all right, and period. So what we're saying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai is that this is an end of an age or period or rulership under Esau Edom and the oppression of the Israelites. We are coming to an end, all right? And there are signs that the Lord told us himself would be happening upon the earth preceding his second coming. That's how we know. Of course, it's all done through the spirit. We take no no boastful spirit in what the Lord has allowed us to see and understand. We just do it and say it through the spirit. All right, but this is where we're at in time right now, and we're at the end of the world, the end of an age, the end of an era, man. And the Lord is about to establish an everlasting kingdom, one that won't fail and will not cease. All right, it will be eternal kingdom forever and ever and ever. The rest of these kingdoms that we have seen thus far have only been temporary. All right, and especially dealing with the other nations, they've rooted in absolute wickedness, man. So we're at the end of that, the water Yahweh Bahashem Shai. All right. So here's the question. What would happen to this world if Hamashiach Malak Yahweh Shai did not return? Okay. Excellent. Matthew 24th chapter in verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. There's your answer. If the Lord didn't intervene by this whole process, all right, the prophets, people receiving the words of the prophets, people scoffing the prophets, all right, because that's how the Lord has always warned his people, through prophets, all right, and the prophecies that they receive. All right, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, man. So look at the amount of judgment that has happened upon the earth. World War I, World War II, going into this third woe, World War III, and all the events that accompany it, man. If not all these things, famine, just quote unquote naturally, we would all just die off eventually, man. And look at the state of the children, how they're corrupting their minds, and they don't know how to effectively reproduce at this point, man. All right, they don't know what they are. So of course, eventually, society would just fade on out and fizzle on out, man. One way or another, people would, tear each other down to the point, the numbers was so low. Esau, Edom, and his madness and his trickery and his BS would continue the wars and manipulation via biological warfare. All these things would take place until everyone, like the Lord is telling us, no flesh would be saved. All right. No flesh would be left here alive, man. All right. But for the elect's sake and going into that hopeful election, man, the days have been shortened, man. The Lord is speeding up time, physically, just and prophecy wise, man, letting these prophecies take place. Us waking up a part of all these prophecies, man, that the Lord's hopeful elect will wake up in the last days, and have time to come back to Yahweh Shema Shah in hopes that they'll receive mercy during these terrible times upon the earth, man, during the end of the world. All right. Does the shortening of time relate to a work that is to be cut short? Whose work? Will the final work be large, man? Well, we already know the answer to that. Absolutely. Yahweh Shai did work when he was upon the earth. And now, all right, there's men, all right, coming in that same lot of Malak Yahweh Shai, teaching and prophesying, rebuking. All these things go into the same work, man. All right, for Yahweh and his kingdom, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So the Lord commanded us, all right, to be doing this work as well. All right, this is Romans 9:28. For he will finish the work and cut it short in righteousness, because a short work will the Lord make upon the earth. Though it tarry, wait for it. All right, for our salvation is nearer than when we believed. Paraphrasing. And of course, the Lord coming as a thief in the night, man. So absolutely, this work is very large, but we're at the end of this thing, man. All right. And starting with, Malak Yahweh Shai and his teachings and what the apostles did in their teachings and how it, got to us where we're at this day and age. For he will cut the work and cut it in righteousness. A short work will the Lord make upon the earth, because the enemy know that he had have but a short time. So the Lord got a spirit on Esau, Edom, and the rest of these heathen nations to hurry on up, man, and fulfill these prophecies, man. All right, just like you hear the prophet say, Yahweh Shema Shai, giving the Lord no rest day nor night, and I can see that with my own ears and eyes, man, and hear that with my own ears and eyes. that the prophets aren't giving the Lord any rest. You see him and can hear him 24/7 via this internet. There's a brother up, trust me, 24 hours, either on the other side of the world, this side of the world, making videos out on the highways and byways, praying and fasting, teaching, rebuking in the gates, man. All these things are happening right before our eyes, man. So we're at the culmination of this work. All right. Again, starting with Malak Yahweh Shai, and it's not gonna be too much longer, man. If you look at it in the eyes of the Lord, a day to 1,000 years. This is taking no time. Now you're dealing with us in the flesh. Oh man, it's been quite some time. That flesh, dealing with that, especially until the Lord started to actually cut the work short and speeding up time. Man, I look back on when I was a child. Oh man, them days was so much longer than these days, man. We had time to do everything: to hoop outside, run full court, play video games, watch BT and MTV all day. Had time to do all these things, man. I look at today. It's no way that you have time to even do all those things. You got time to do about one thing, and that's about it, man. And that's a testimony. of the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, and a faith booster to know that the words of the Lord are real, man. He's speeding up time, cutting his work short, man, in righteousness. All right. What is the quote unquote Ezekiel warning? All right, so all these men of Yahweh Shema Shai can't come in the same light of prophesying, saying things before they happen. And most of these prophecies, man, are in relation to our salvation, man, and the prophecies that are gonna fall before the Lord's second coming. All right, Ezekiel 33. We'll start at verse 2. This is it, the so-called Ezekiel warning. Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, the Hebrew Israelites, right? And say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and take not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. All right. So the Lord has already done that, man, through his own will, set up prophets and watchmen, all right, to warn the people, all right, warn the earth, warn the Hebrew Israelites first and foremost, but the rest of the nations, telling them what their lot is as well, via our power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so if you don't take heed, man, your blood is upon your own head. All right, just like we come in the same light, and that's why we got to warn and do our job so that we could get the blood washed off of our hands and we won't be found guilty, all right, of these weaker people and their transgressions. It'll be upon their own heads, man. That's why we do this work. Fear Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. All right. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come, which it is coming, that sword, and the Lord said that's what he came to bring, a sword, a spirit of division, mother against father against son, mother against daughter, etc. All right, and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hands. Very scary thing, very serious, fearful things that the servants of the Lord are involved in, and that's everybody's life, starting with the man, then the woman, then the child. All right, everybody got a role to play. You're a child, you got to be obedient to your parents, man, your mother and father. Lord willing, you have them both. All right, woman, got to be obedient to your husband, man. And of course, a man, you got to be obedient to Yahweh Shema Shai and tread lightly, man. All right, because we're at the point in time where things are about to drastically change, man. And here you have these prophets, these watchmen set up by the Lord, warning the people day in, day out, man. And now, like I say, those men moving with the spirit of fear, all right, and are warning the people. So whosoever, don't listen to us, that's their own problem. All right, this is something they don't teach in so-called church, man. And they never really hear it, these lessons. All right, very, very important, man. So we know what we're supposed to be doing, not just running around the earth like chickens with their heads cut off, man, going to and fro. Oh boy, do we need to talk about the woman, how much warning and correction she's, we're trying to give our sister. She don't want to hear it. All right. So when Jacob's trouble, this great tribulation, this time of trouble preceding the Lord's second coming, when these things happen upon the earth, hey man, our women are on their own. They have no hedge of protection. They voided that through constant examples of pride. All right. All right, last days. How you hear us saying, hey, these are the last days. We're at the end of time, the end of the world. Does the Bible speak of a period called the last days? So let's see, does the Bible actually say that? And the reason why y'all hear us saying this, 2 Timothy 3 and verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. We can stop it right there and just talk about the children, the actual children. A lot of them have these characteristics about themselves, man. Lovers of their own self, covetous, boasters, proud. Look at the children involved in the whole social media thing, or the whole entertainment industry. All right. Without natural affection. Truce breakers, false accusers. There's a lot of that going around in relation to the prophets, man, in relation to the nation of Israel. A lot of false accusations going on already, and we know that that's going to intensify and lead to the persecution of the ones that fear the Lord. But we know that the Lord is going to be with us, Lord willing, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that's a big one with our people. They love pleasure, especially the woman. All right, they love pleasures and peace more than lovers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and their man, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. And that's a lot of our people are in that category right there. How they have this form of godliness but denying the power thereof, by denying the prophets, denying what they're saying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua concerning prophecy, concerning Jacob's trouble, concerning the MOTB, concerning World War III, the second coming, all that play stuff that they claim to believe in. All right, we actually know it to be true, like the second coming of Malak Yahushua. As time progresses, I don't think that the so-called Christians actually believe in actually some of these Israelites, especially the women involved in this that know they're Israelites. I don't, just with my spirit of discernment, that gift of discernment, I don't think they actually believe like this is real. They just have that form of godliness, but however they've attained that, right, through traditions of our people going to so-called church, all right, and just having that foundation. We all kind of have that foundation of hearing, all right, and the earth has that foundation of hearing about this God of the Bible. But there's people really chosen to understand the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and 2/3 of the nation of Israel just right now weren't. So we thank Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua just for the opportunity and hope that we could be these individuals that'll make it through this thing, man. All right. Let me see here. 2 Timothy 4 verse 1. This is 2 Timothy 4 and 1. I charge thee therefore before Yahweh and the Lord Yahushua, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing in his kingdom. Preach the word, be instant in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. All right, so that's what you're experiencing right now to this very day, that the men have these, the Lord has these men preaching in season and out of season, when there's a lot of people out upon the earth outside their homes, and when it's not, day in, day out, doing these things, reproving, rebuking, exhorting, all these things, teaching, helping, building up, and tearing down those strongholds, man, that have plagued our people for many, many, many years. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. And of course, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned into fables. And especially when the Lord teaches us about our people loving those smooth words, tell us those smooth things is what they require and request from the DJ booth, concerning the song they want to hear. They want to hear the smooth songs. But when it gets a little bit real, but any other time with our people. They love violence and hard stuff, man. Back in the day, you used to ask, women I'm dealing with, oh, what's your favorite movie? It used to be stuff like Love and Basketball. Now you ask them, some of these women, and it's just, I get some crazy answers. You wouldn't believe it. Don't even want to get into that, The music they listen to, especially the women, especially the younger women, they listen to some hardcore music. But again, when it comes to the hardcore of the Bible, our people, they don't want to deal with it, man. And it really ultimately pertains to their salvation, their actual riches and, inheritance. They don't want to deal with the whole role, all right? The whole thing. They just want those smooth words, man, all right? But these men are doing this, reproving, rebuking, exhorting with all long suffering and doctrine, the correct doctrine through the Spirit. Witnessing these things, last days characteristics, all right? Still on that. This is why, like, signs of the times, man, seeing all these things and actually listening to these men through the Spirit. Of course, some are going to be more receptive than others through the Spirit, but just seeing and actually listening to what these men are saying, man. And it's a bunch of people saying a bunch of different things, man. But it's all through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, especially concerning the truth. All right. Let's go to Jeremiah. Concerning the Lord's justified anger in these latter days, seeing the characteristics of the inhabitants of the earth, the majority of them, all those things, fierce, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Jeremiah 30 and verse 24. The fierce anger of the Lord shall not return until he have done it, and until he have performed the intents of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it. And again, man, that fierce anger is going into the judgment that we speak of. Our people don't want to deal with the judgment aspect of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. They only want the Lord for his blessings. All right. But this thing is about judgment. All right. Right versus wrong. And the Lord is getting ready. All right. Man, verse 20 up there, the children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. Beautiful. All right, this is going into, again, that fierce anger. So the Lord is getting ready to establish this government, all right, this age, this era, this world, all right, this righteous kingdom for all eternity. And these children of the nation of Israel in their respective orders, starting with the men, all right, and every brother should have his, respective order given to them by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. The women that are going to be married unto these men and the beautiful children that they'll produce for all eternity, all right, are going to be a part of this glorious age, this era, this world, this kingdom, this government, all right? And everybody that has oppressed us, which is all these other nations, and right now our own people oppressing us and doing these same things that the enemy do to us, the Lord's going to punish, all of them, all right? And we'll see a lot of that before the Lord, especially concerning our people, before the Lord gets back and during, the Lord's second coming. All right, but yeah, this fierce anger down in verse 24, the fierce anger of the Lord, all right, shall not return until he have done it. And this is all going to that work, sending Malak Yahawashi, all right, and the Lord finishing his work. And we're coming in that same, again, lot, finishing our work. And now in the latter days, all right, we see these things actually happening now. So we know, oh man, okay, we see these events. Oh, okay, this has to be the time. All the play stuff starts to go out the window when reality checks in, and it constantly is hitting you in the face. You can't just go out and play like you used to and hide from it. You got to deal with it. So, we thank the Lord for some type of brave spirit so far. We know that, we'll be tested when it really, hits home. This great tribulation. However, it's going to affect us when it, that initial break off. It's going to be rough. Who we kidding, man? But you just got to keep your eye focused. Keep your eye focused. And, that's what anything, the trials and tribulations the Lord has already took us through. I'm sure you brothers and sisters got your own testimonies about, making it through something a little harsh. That's all. Just keep your eye focused, man, because, of course, we'll be tested. But we know that these are the last tests, being that this is the last days, the last events, all right, the last period of time the Lord is to try us, man. So that's a good, man. It keeps you motivated to know this the last go round, man. All we gotta do is show and prove to our Father and our big brother, and Lord willing, we show and prove, and we get on up out of here, man. Easier said than done, of course, but you know how it goes. All right. Now, this unprecedented time of trouble, being that we speak about, the Lord's coming, the King coming, and how he's coming. All right. A lot of people don't believe in any of that. Don't even believe in the Lord for real. And definitely don't believe he's actually coming back and they'll see him. And actually, definitely don't believe he's coming back with a host of quote unquote futuristic vehicles and angels and, but we do. All right. But we speak a lot about, again, those events preceding his second coming. So let's go to Matthew 24 and verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And this is the words of the Lord. Scary if you really consider it, if you really look and have been through some things, or can receive through, historical texts, some of the events that have happened upon this earth when it comes to war, destruction, pestilences, and things like that. What are we finna go through? Look how fragile we all are, man. Seriously, even us through that are in the truth. We barely hanging on, but through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah we are. But look at how stressed out we are just from these daily events. Things are changing rapidly, progressively. But when the Lord is saying, there's going to be a great tribulation, and the prophets are standing on that, many, many times we hear this. You really have to consider, what are we finna go through? If we know the Lord not to be a liar at all, not a man that he should lie, again, what are we finna go through? Well, again, great tribulation like this earth has never seen before. All right. Let me go to Mark. Mark 13:19 again. For in those days shall be affliction, such as was not from the beginning of the creation, which Yahweh created unto this time, neither shall be. Scary stuff, man. Scary stuff, man. Well, we got to deal with it, man. Got to deal with it. Jeremiah 30, verse 5. Still talking about that unprecedented time of trouble, quote unquote. Jeremiah 30, verse 5. For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. There it is. There's your precept about Jacob's trouble. When you hear us saying these things, great tribulation, Jacob's trouble, this is it. Alas, why is all these so-called mighty men becoming like a scared woman? It's because of this great tribulation, this period of time known as Jacob's trouble, where the Lord is judging the earth one final time, judging his people one final time before a drastic change takes place. And that drastic change, of course, is our Lord, Malak Yahweh Shai. All praises. Call hello, Malak Yahweh Shai. But that day is great, man. All right. These events, these things that we're about to go through, unprecedented time of trouble. So we got to remember that going into it, man. All right. And let's go to Romans. I got more precepts, but we could be here all day talking about the horrors that is Jacob's trouble. And the Lord spiritually warns of these things. It doesn't get into too much graphic detail, although it really does. But I mean, just as far as how it all could play out, how that sword could play out, how that chaos could actually play out in this day and age, man. You know, all the events, all the many ways that one could perish. You know. All right, here we go. Romans. Time to awake, right? Being that we see all these things. This is Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So seeing these events, seeing the time, we know that it's time to wake up, do what the Lord is requiring of us, because these glorious things that we have heard of since we were children, you know, as far as, you know, this day and age goes, that is right at our fingertips. You know, this city, you know, paved with these gold streets, you know, and things of that nature that we've heard since we were kids, since we were children, right at our fingertips, actually, Lord willing, getting ready to receive it, experience this, you know. So now it's time to wake up, and that's what we're doing. That's why we're doing this, warning our people to wake up. All right, come out of this corniness, this pointlessness. You had your little fun. Some of you more than others. We had our little fun, but this grace period, don't take it for granted, because again, we read about just a little bit that unprecedented time of trouble and how real and crazy it's gonna actually get out here. Again, what are we finna go through? It's terrifying. It's terrifying, as it, you know. But we got some type of spirit on us, man. You know, so far so good. Our spirits are holding strong, but you know, as it gets closer and closer, it's getting just terrifying. You know, so yep, that's it. I'll leave it at that through the spirit and power. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Take heed to these warnings, man. All right. And Lord willing, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai be with us all, man. Because, again, it's going to get crazy. So with that, I want to give all praise and honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Till next time, Shalom.